Do you own Apple products? Do you own Apple products?
Yes.
They've been occupying Tibet since 1951. Why? What happened to your democratic values?
I support. Do you want to know the series of sanctions that I support against the whole? You said that Stolichnaya.
Why do you can buy a Samsung.
The U.S.
Korea is not occupying anybody.
Right,
Why do you own an Apple?
Right, because the future of the state of Israel is intricately bound up with my entire life and my children's life in a way that Tibet is not. I choose to care about this issue just like Jews who were protesting Soviet Jewry cared about that issue, because the future of the state that the Jewish people depends on is at stake. And I genuinely believe, you can disagree with me, but I genuinely believe, like David Grossman, like Amos Ozen, like Aleph Bet Yehoshua, but this is a way of sustaining and helping Israeli democracy survive.
Okay.
Tibet I care less about.
Fair enough, fair enough. So you could buy a Samsung, which is made in Korea, which isn't occupying anybody. In fact, I went to Korea, saw the DMZ. It's amazing how much they suffer with that nutcase to the north threatening them with nuclear annihilation. 30,000 American troops protecting them. You could buy a Samsung, but you buy an Apple, which has been occupying Tibet, which locks up Nobel Peace Prize winners and their wives illegally. And you say the reason is because you care about the Jewish soul? You don't care about non-Jews? Wait a second. In fact, I seem to recall that just a second please, I had a panel with the Dalai Lama. I care about his rights. I've spoken out against China. In fact, in our debate in Colombia, Bret Stephens, he's one of the biggest fighters for the rights of the Chinese against its government in the pages of the Wall Street Journal. I'm astonished to hear that this doesn't matter that much to you when it comes to just buying a different kind of phone. But let me take it further. You said in the crisis of Zionism that American Jewry seems to invoke the victim card so much that they become self-absorbed and they don't care about others. So you do care about human rights abroad. I know you do. I know you're a good man. How can you tell this audience that it doesn't much matter to you and you buy a different product? It's not guilty of an occupation.
It does matter to me. There are tremendous number of issues and injustices in the world to which I could devote myself. Countries all over the world, environmental issues, a massive set. I am not a pure universalist. I care more about my people, just as I care more about my family than I care about the rest of the world. Which is not to say I don't care about the rest of the world. I care about it a lot. But in my limited amount of time, I choose to spend a significant amount of it fighting for what I believe is essential to the survival of the first Jewish state in 2,000 years. You may think my strategies are wrong, but my intentions are because this state and this people matters more to me, as much as I care about people in Tibet and people in Zimbabwe and people around the world. And I would dare say that the same is true for you.
Well, may I just say one thing, if you don't mind that? I believe you. I believe that if you really care about getting your message through to the Israeli people and people who suffer daily terror attacks, I think you will have more credibility if you show greater consistency. It's very easy to buy a Samsung. If you show greater consistency, and by the way, when you say we shouldn't care, I went to Rwanda, where I was the speaker at the 20th anniversary of the Rwandan genocide. In fact, I have to say, I love Israel as much as I can. I have kids in the army. Maybe I should love it more. Some of the organizers saying, when are you moving to Israel? And from half the audience, maybe you guys even belong here. But I have to say that Ron Dermer, as you know, was my student and dear friend. He's Israeli ambassador to the United States. I consider him the most eloquent defender of Israel in the English language. But at our dinner this year, I looked him in the eye and I said that Israel has to recognize the Armenian genocide. Now you blame Israel for the rise of Erdogan, which is kind of unfair. I think Erdogan is dismantling Turkish democracy without Israeli help. But Israel, kind of to appease the Turkish tyrant, isn't recognizing the Armenian genocide. We Jews have to be at the forefront of defending human rights. Rwanda, and Srebrenica, and Kosovo, and Cambodia. So I know that you care, and I'm kind of surprised that you would say that. I bet you